Hello and welcome to the channel. Today I'll be discussing Backrooms levels I believe I would survive. And if you didn't already know by the title, this is actually the part 2 to it. So I do recommend going over to my channel and actually watching the other one, just for some more context. But anyways, I'm gonna stop stalling and let's begin. Now, level 4 is actually relatively safe, as it has a level 1 difficulty rating. So the level itself is actually pretty safe, and it doesn't have too many entities. And it's even the main source of almond water in the back rooms. But that doesn't mean that there isn't actually some sort of problem in this level that you're gonna have to face. As even though the level is primarily safe, the windows that aren't blacked out are actually traps. So yeah, I'm gonna have to avoid windows that aren't blacked out. And this level does have its fair share of entities. It's just like level 1, it has duelers and hounds. But they aren't that aggressive, besides hounds, but to be honest, at the end of the day, they're just human dogs, I guess. Because of the fact that there's so much almond water in the level, a lot of people stay around the level, so yeah, I'll probably be fine. And actually, almond water is literally everywhere. Like, it's not an over-exaggeration. Like, it's in vending machines and water fountains. Yeah, in this level, I definitely gather almond water and make sure to meet other wanderers. But let's just say, for some odd reason, I went to the next level. Unlike the last level, this level isn't the safest of them all, as it has a Class 2 difficulty rating. And it definitely earned that title of a level 2 rating, since its entities aren't the greatest to deal with, I may say, as there are death moths in it. And what I forgot to mention in the last video is that the female death moths literally have acid, but they got nothing on me since I got bug spray. But it does have the casual hound, which isn't that big of a deal. So, you know how in the last video I called the bacteria monster a living pipe cleaner by chance? Nah, because this thing is a real living, pipe cleaner. Yeah, this thing's called the Growler, and it is very aggressive, and also, I kid you not, it's sometimes made of pipe cleaners. Or at times, it's wires. So you might be wondering, what in the world would I do if I encountered one of these guys? I'll give you that answer. I would die, as they literally use electric currents to go fast. I kid you not, they go at lightning speeds. But they aren't very common, so I just hope I don't run into one. And another entity in this level is called the Mimic. No, not that type of mimic.
Nuh-uh.
The heck you mean by nuh-uh?
Nuh-uh.
Man, you're going in the basement, bro. You're just going into the basement.
Wait, what?
So, anyways, the mimic I'm talking about is, well, a room. I mean, you might be wondering to yourself, a room? Like, what? What do you mean by a room? Well, what I'm talking about is literally a sentient room. Yeah, I kid you not. Yeah, if I was in this level, I would definitely have to avoid rooms. Since I don't really want to get slimed out by practically the smile room. Though at times I would probably be forced to go into one. So yeah, I would just have to be careful. So I'd have to avoid red doors, as that would indicate that it's a death moth hive. And yeah, stepping into one would not be very fun. So yeah, I'd imagine I'd have a pretty nice chance of getting past this level. So let's continue to the next one. There isn't too much information on this level, so this segment is probably gonna be pretty short, but I'll talk about it anyways. Cause when I say there isn't a lot of information on this level, I mean it, cause there isn't even like a class on this level. So just for the heck of it, I'll give it a class 3 rating. Just by looking at this level, I know for a fact this John is not safe and very unsecure. And the reason why I'm saying this is because no type of light will work in this level. Like, even if you have a flashlight, or even a lantern, or a fire, it's not gonna work. It's not gonna produce any light. And yeah, you could also start losing your sanity in this level very quickly, too. You might be wondering, how many people genuinely get out of this level? Because, well, it's very dark, like it's pitch black no matter what. Yeah, this wouldn't be a very great level to be stuck on. But yeah, if you keep wandering, luckily you might find an exit, so that's good. So yeah, your best bet is wandering and no clipping through a wall. Which, to be honest, even without any prior knowledge, I think I'd accidentally do. But on the upside, there isn't any entities on this level, so that's good. Yeah, after a while, I believe I would get past this level, so let's move on to the next. Now, this level's actually very unique compared to the other ones I've talked about. As instead of solid ground, it's water. Besides the starting area, as it's a fully furnished room just full of water. So you might be thinking, maybe I should try swimming in the water to get around. Well, some parts of the level, the water gets as cold as liquid nitrogen, so that wouldn't be very fun to swim in. Well, the thing is that the level's gravity is a bit stronger than Earth's, so you'll have to swim a little bit harder than you usually should. So yeah, obviously it's not a great level to be on. But yeah, for the most part, it kind of just acts like the normal ocean. Well, kind of besides one part of it. Well, this actual demon of a creature. Because this thing is practically a barracuda on steroids. I am definitely not over-exaggerating it when I say it's practically just that. As this thing's practically a gigantic, barracuda, but can sense you from a long ways away. And I kid you not, it is called The Thing. Actually, you kind of see a bit ironic, since if you showed someone a picture of this thing, they'd call it, what the heck is that thing? But yeah, besides that, I think I'd practically be fine. But exiting this level is not easy at all, as you had to go into an underwater cave to get out, which would be a huge problem because, that thing's in the water. But unfortunately, to get to the underwater cave, I would definitely need some sort of, scuba divers tools or something. Because I kid you not, the level's exit is 7 whole kilometers down. Well, I have an idea on how to get to the exit. Well, first thing I would do is try finding someone with scuba diving equipment, and then I would steal it from them. You might be wondering, how in the world would I do this? Well, don't ask how I'd get it, alright? Don't think too hard about it. So, let's say I get to the cave and actually escape the level. I have no words on this level right now. You might be wondering, why would that be? Well, it's a level 5 difficulty. This level is infested with many entities. Practically the only upside to this level, though, is that almond water drips from the ceiling. So, practically, if I get attacked by an entity or something and somehow survive, I would definitely be able to survive for the most part. Though I can't drink puddles of almond water since they're full of minerals. But not great minerals. So, what are the dangers on this level? Well, there's tar pits that will drag you down into them. Well, I guess they're practically just duelers from Timu. Also, because of how dark the level is, there's also smilers. You might be wondering, well, what else is there? Also hounds, and a couple others that I haven't talked about yet. As there are facelings in this level. And in general, they're just pretty chill, not gonna lie. As they're actually very passive, and they, in general, kind of just ignore you, just for the most part. And why I say for the most part is because the child ones will attack, and they're very aggressive. So yeah, they're practically just the polar opposite of their older counterparts. And I'm sorry, but Lil Bro's getting curb stomped. I feel like I would fold one of them like origami, bruh. They would practically just be a moderate inconvenience. But another NTM we'll talk about is the Revyuk. Now, Revyuks are kind of like Sarlacc pits, but you can't see them. So yeah, if you see cracks on the ground under you, or at least starting to form, run. Get out of there, because the Revyuk is about to come out. You should also try to avoid standing on ground that rumbles or vibrates. So yeah, I'd imagine I'd be able to avoid them. The end of the video, so make sure to like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.